Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Chaitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jaya Pataka Swami Maharaj on March 11th, 2021 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Shri Chaitanya Ishvara Hari Om. Hare Krishna. Today we will continue with the compilation of the Shri Krishna Chaitanya book. The chapter is entitled as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's request to Lord Chaitanya. Under the section, the Veda Kirtan pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antyakhanda 3.263.
সপার্ষদ প্রভুর সমুদ্র তীরে কীর্তন বিহার সমুদ্রের সৌভাগ্যজনক ভক্তগণ সঙ্গে প্রভু সমুদ্রের তীরে সর্ববৈকুণ্ঠাদিনাথ কীর্তনে বিহারে।
Lord Chaitanya on the shore of the ocean,
Lord Chaitanya on the shore of the ocean,
in the association of his devotees.
in the association of his devotees,
He enjoyed these pastimes.
he enjoyed these pastimes.
He is the Lord of all the Vaikuntha,
He is the Lord of all the Vaikuntha
and other planets.
and other planets.
He was enjoying the kirtan
He was enjoying the Kirtan
pastimes.
Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antyakhanda 3.264.
বাসা করিলেন প্রভু সমুদ্রের তীরে বিহারীন প্রভু ভক্তি আনন্দ সাগরে।
Lord Chaitanya made his residence on the shore of the ocean.
Lord Chaitanya made his residence on the shore of the ocean.
Lord Chaitanya enjoyed
Lord Chaitanya,
devotional service.
Lord Chaitanya enjoyed the devotional service,
An ocean of spiritual bliss.
an ocean of spiritual bliss.
চৈতন্য ভাগবত অন্তখণ্ড 3.265। এই অবতারে সিন্ধু কৃতার্থ হইতে অতএব লক্ষ্মী জন্মিলেন তাহা হইতে।
On this avatar of the Lord, the incarnation,
In this avatar of the Lord or the incarnation,
the ocean attained perfection
the ocean attained perfection
and was grateful.
and was grateful.
Therefore, Goddess of Fortune, Lakshmi Devi,
Therefore, Goddess of Fortune, Lakshmi Devi,
she appeared from the ocean
she appeared from the ocean
at this time.
at this time. Purport by Prabhupada Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, since Sriman Mahaprabhu was to come in the future to the shore of the ocean in Nilachala, Lakshmi Devi took birth as the daughter of the ocean. Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antyakhanda 3.266.
সিন্ধু স্থানে নীলাচলবাসীর শুভোদয় নীলাচলবাসীর যে কিছু পাপ হয়, অতএব সিন্ধু স্নানে সব যায় ক্ষয়।
The residents of Nilachal
The residents of Nilachal
are Jagannath Puri.
or Jagannath Puri,
Whatever sins they perform
whatever sins they have performed
are therefore by taking bath in the ocean,
are therefore by taking bath in the ocean,
they are thereby nullified.
they are thereby nullified. Chaitanya Bhagavat Antakanda 3.267.
গঙ্গা দেবীর সিন্ধু সহ মিলন, অতএব গঙ্গা দেবী বেগবতী হইয়া সেই ভাগ্যে সিন্ধু মাঝে মিলিলা আসিয়া।
And therefore,
Ganga Devi
swiftly
flows
because of the ocean's good fortune.
Because of the ocean's good fortune,
Ganges flows swiftly
the Ganges flows swiftly
to merge with the ocean's water.
To merge with the ocean's waters. Chaitanya Bhagavat Antakanda 3.268.
হনুমতে সিন্ধু তীরে শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য বৈশেন সকল মতে সিন্ধু করি ধন্য।
In this way, Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
In this way, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
by residing on the shore of the ocean, he made the ocean glorious.
He made the ocean glorious.
By residing on the shore.
By residing on its shore. Chaitanya Bhagavat Antakhanda 3.269.
প্রভুর নীলাদ্রি গমনকালে উৎকল অধিপতি প্রতাপরুদ্রের যুদ্ধাভিযান উপলক্ষে অন্যত্র অবস্থান হেতু নীলাচলে অনুপস্থিতি। যে সময়ে ঈশ্বর আইলা নীলাচলে, তখনে প্রতাপরুদ্র নাহিক উৎকলে।
At the time when Lord Chaitanya came to Nilachal,
At the time when Lord Chaitanya came to Nilachal,
Prataprudra Maharaj was not present in Orissa at that time.
Prataprudra Maharaj was not present in Orissa at that time. Chaitanya Bhagavat Antakhanda 3.270.
যুদ্ধরাশে গিয়াছেন বিজয়নগরে, অতএব প্রভু না দেখিলা সেবারে।
He had gone to Vijayanagar on a military campaign.
He had gone to Vijayanagar on a military campaign.
Therefore, he did not see Lord Chaitanya at that time.
Therefore, he did not see Lord Chaitanya at that time.
Even say,
So, this is another translation of the same verse. When Mahaprabhu arrived in Nilachal, Maharaj Prataparudra was not present there. He had gone south to fight in Vijayanagar. Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka, Sri Krishna Chaitanya says, Sarvabhauma, you also should go. Sarvabhauma replies, Lord, I have something to request. Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, what is it? Sarvabhauma. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replies, what is it? Sarvabhauma says, Lord, if you assure me that I may speak without fear, then I will speak my request. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 11.3.
সার্বভৌমের প্রভু সমীপে কিছু নিবেদনেচ্ছা। আর দিন সার্বভৌম কহে প্রভু স্থানে, অভয় দান দেহ যদি করি নিবেদনে।
The next day, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya requested Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give him permission to submit a statement without fear. Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you may speak without fear.
Haribo!
Haribo! Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 11.4.
প্রভুর অনুমতি দান। প্রভু কয়ে কহ তুমি নাহি কিছু ভয়, যোগ্য হইলে করিব অযোগ্য হইলে নয়।
The Lord gave the Bhattacharya assurance that he could speak without fear, but he added that if his statement were suitable, he would accept it, and if it were not, he would reject it. Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says to Lord Chaitanya, Maharaj Pratap Rudra is very eager to see your feet. If you give permission, we will bring him here. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 11.5.
প্রতাপরুদ্রের পক্ষ হইয়া সার্বভৌমের প্রভু কৃপা যাচ্ছা। সার্বভৌম কহে এই প্রতাপরুদ্র রায়, উৎকণ্ঠা হইয়াছে তোমা মিলিবারে চাই।
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, there is a king named Prataprudra Rai. He is very anxious to meet you and he wants your permission. Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak. Sri Chaitanya covers his ears. Sarvabhauma, even you are speaking like this?
Wow.
Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 11.6.
রাজদর্শনে প্রভুর অসম্মতি ও বিতৃষ্ণা। কর্ণে হস্ত দিয়া প্রভু স্মরে নারায়ণ, সার্বভৌম কহ কেন অযোগ্য বচন।
As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this proposal, he immediately covered his ears with his hands and said, my dear Sarvabhauma, why are you requesting such an undesirable thing from me?
Say, since Lord Chaitanya had taken the renounced order of life,
See, since Lord Chaitanya had taken the renounced order of life,
he does not see materialistic people.
he does not see materialistic people.
So he's considering that the king must be materialistic.
So he is considering that the king must be materialistic,
And therefore he's considering Sarvabhauma's
and therefore he is considering Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's
statement as irreligious.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's statement as irreligious. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 11.7.
সন্ন্যাসীর ধর্ম। বিরক্ত সন্ন্যাসী আমার রাজদর্শন, স্ত্রী দর্শন সম বিষয়ের ভক্ষণ।
Since I am in the renounced order, it is as dangerous for me to meet a king as to meet a woman. To meet either would be just like drinking poison.
Oh.
Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 11.8, and Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak. The Sanskrit verses are found in both the books.
প্রেমাকাঙ্ক্ষীর ভূতিভাবে ভোগ্য দর্শন, বীজ ভক্ষণ তুল্য নিষিদ্ধ। শ্রী চৈতন্য চন্দ্রোদয় নাটক 8-24। নিষ্কিঞ্চনস্য ভগবৎ ভজনোন্মুখস্য পরং পরং জিগমিষ ভবসাগরস্য সন্দর্শনং বিশরিণাম অথ যোষিতঞ্চব হা অন্ত হন্ত বিষভক্ষণ তো অপস্য সাধু।
Translation of the verse. Greatly lamenting, the Lord then informed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, "Alas, for a person who is seriously desiring to cross the material ocean and engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord without material motives, seeing a materialist engaged in sense gratification or seeing a woman who is similarly interested is more abominable than drinking poison willingly." Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. This is a quotation from Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka 8.23. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enunciates the principles for a sannyasi renouncing the material world for spiritual advancement. Spiritual advancement is not meant for magic shows and jugglery, but for crossing the material world and being transferred to the spiritual world. Param param jigamishoho means desiring to go to the other side of the material world. There is a river called Vaitarani, and on the side of this river is the material world, and on the other side is the spiritual world. Since the Vaitarani river is compared to a great ocean, it is named Bhavasagara, the ocean of repeated birth and death. Spiritual life aims at stopping this repetition of birth and death and entering into the spiritual world, where one can live eternally cognizant and blissful. Unfortunately, the general populace does not know anything about spiritual life or spiritual world. The spiritual world is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita 8.20. Yet, there is another unmanifested nature which is eternal and is transcendental to the manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and never annihilated. When all this world is annihilated, that time that part remains as it is. Thus, there is a spiritual nature beyond this material world, and that spiritual nature exists eternally. Spiritual advancement means stopping material activities and entering into spiritual activities. This process of Bhakti Yoga. This is the process of Bhakti Yoga. In the material world, the via media for sense gratification is mainly a woman. One who is seriously interested in spiritual life should strictly avoid women. A sannyasi should never see a man or a woman for material benefit. In addition, talks with materialistic men and women are also dangerous, and they are compared to drinking poison. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict on this point. He therefore refused the King Prataprudra to see King Prataprudra, who was naturally always engaged in political and economic affairs. The Lord even refused to see the king despite the request of the personality like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was the Lord's intimate friend and devotee.
So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya will explain how Maharaj
Sarvabhauma
Prataprudra
Bhattacharya is explaining how Maharaj Prataprudra
he engages in menial service to Lord Jagannath.
He engages in menial service to Lord Jagannath.
Therefore, he's a very special king.
Therefore, he is a very special king.
And sometimes Srila Prabhupada, talking to some rich aristocratic businessmen.
So one time Srila Prabhupada was talking to a rich aristocratic businessman.
They wanted to see Prabhupada perform some magic tricks.
They want to see Prabhupada perform some magic tricks.
So he said, I went to America with 40 rupees.
He said that I went to America with 40 rupees,
Now I have 40 crore.
but now I have 40 crores.
It's not a miracle.
Is it not a miracle?
Yes, yes.
He said, yes, yes. Sorry.
That's my magic.
That's my magic. Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak, Sarvabhauma says, Lord, this is true, but still Maharaj Prataprutra is a servant of Lord Jagannath. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 11.9.
ভট্টাচার্যের রাস প্রশংসা সার্বভৌম কহে সত্য তোমার বচন জগন্নাথ সেবক রাজা কিন্তু ভক্ত উত্তম
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, My dear Lord, what you have said is correct, but this king is not an ordinary king. He is a great devotee and servant of Lord Jagannath. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 11.10.
ভক্ত সজ্জায় ভক্ত জ্ঞানে বস্তুর বহির্দর্শন হইতেই নিবেশজ ভয়ের উৎপত্তি প্রভু কহে তথাপি রাজা কাল সর্পাকার কাষ্ঠ নারী স্পর্শে জয়ছে উপজয় বিকার
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, although it is correct that the king is a great devotee, he is still to be considered as a venomous snake. Similarly, even though a woman made of wood, one becomes agitated simply by touching her form. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chanakya Pandit has stated in his moral instruction, Tyaja Durjana Samsargam Bhaja Sadhu Samagamam. This means that one has to abandon the association of materialistic people and associate with spiritually advanced people. However qualified a materialist may be, he is no better than a venomous serpent. Everyone knows that a snake is dangerous and poisonous, and when its food is decorated with jewels, it is no less poisonous or dangerous. However qualified a materialist may be, he is no better than a snake decorated with jewels. One should therefore be careful in dealing with such materialists, just as one would be careful in dealing with a bejeweled serpent. Even though a woman be made of wood or stone, she becomes attractive when decorated. One becomes sexually agitated even by touching the form. Therefore, one should not trust his mind, which is so fickle and that it can give way to enemies at any moment. The mind is always accompanied by 6 enemies, namely Kama, Krodha, Mada, Moha, Matsarya, and Bhaya. That is, lust, anger, intoxication, illusion, envy, and fear. Although the mind may be merged in spiritual consciousness, one should always be very careful in dealing with it, just as one is careful in dealing with a snake. One should never think that his mind is trained and that he can do whatever he likes. One interested in spiritual life should always engage his mind in the service of the Lord, so that the enemies of the mind who always accompany the mind will be subdued. If the mind is not engaged in Krishna consciousness at every moment, there is a chance that it will give way to its enemies. In this way, we become victims of the mind. Chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra engages the mind at the lotus feet of Krishna constantly. Thus, the mind's enemies do not have a chance to strike. Following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's example in these verses, we should be very careful in dealing with the mind, which should not be indulged in any circumstance. Once we indulge the mind, it can create havoc in this life. Even though we may be spiritually advanced, the mind is specifically agitated through the association of materialistic men and women. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through his personal behavior, warns everyone to avoid meeting a materialistic person or a woman.
So, specifically warning us
So, this is specifically warning us
not to associate with a materialistic man or woman.
not to associate with a materialistic man or a woman.
So, Prabhupada once said that,
So, Prabhupada once said that,
many times,
not once, many times,
that ladies are engaged in preaching are special.
that ladies, those who are engaged in preaching, they are special.
So the mind should be always kept under control,
Still, the mind should be always kept under control,
engaged in Krishna's service.
engaged in Krishna's service. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 11.11 and Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka. This verse is found in both the scriptures.
শ্রী চৈতন্য চন্দ্রোদয় আকারাদপি ভীতব্যং স্ত্রীণাং বিষয়ীনাম অপি যথা হে মনসা ক্ষোভ সতথা তস্য কৃতেরপি.
Just as one is immediately frightened upon seeing a live serpent or even the form of a serpent, one endeavoring for self-realization should similarly fear a materialistic person and a woman. Indeed, he should not even glance at their bodily features. Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak. If you say this again, you will never see me again. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 11.12.
লোক শিক্ষক প্রভুর কঠোর সংকল্প আশ্রম মর্যাদা রক্ষণার্থ সার্বভৌমকে তিরস্কার ওইছে বাত পুনরপি মুখে না আনিবে কহ যদি তবে আমায় এথা না দেখিবে.
Bhattacharya, if you continue to speak like this, you will never see me here again. Therefore, you should never let such a request come from your mouth. Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak, Sarvabhauma remains silent. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bhattacharya, much time has passed. It's very late and thus it's time for daily activities to be done. Sarvabhauma says, as it pleases, my lord, and he exists. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 11.13.
সার্বভৌমের বিষণ্ণ মুখে প্রস্থান ভয় পাইয়া সার্বভৌম নিজ ঘরে গেলা বাসায় গিয়া ভট্টাচার্য চিন্তিত হইলা.
Being afraid, Sarvabhauma returned home and began to meditate on the matter.
Since Lord Chaitanya said, you speak like this
So since Lord Chaitanya said, if you speak like this
to meet the king,
to meet the king,
then I won't come here again.
then I won't come here again.
So, it put fear in the heart of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
So it put fear in the heart of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
And no one wants to lose the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
He don't want to lose the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus ends the chapter entitled Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's request to Lord Chaitanya under the section the Veda Kirtan pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jai.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.